Andy Williams. Shout out Andy Williams. What do
Would
you
you like
think?
to read it? Okay.
Yeah, what do you think of the discourse of the leftists voting for Kamala and pushing her, or is it a betrayal of leftist bona fides if they vote for Kamala? I'm not one of those kind of leftists who likes to tell people who to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
Quite frankly, and I'm not one of those people who's like, if you vote for Kamala, you've betrayed leftist bona fides. I think there's a certain strategy about this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a leftist and you live in a swing state, and you live in a state like Florida, or you live in a state like Pennsylvania, and you're worried about the consequences of a Donald Trump presidency, if you vote for Kamala Harris, I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to be like, oh, you so loud. If you're in a safe state like California or New York and you vote third party, I'm not going to be like, oh, you wasted your vote. I think we can chew gum and walk at the same time and not castigate each other for doing something that is a personal decision. Voting is a personal decision. There's a strategic choice in exercising your political principles in terms of what actually gives you a return on your investment. It's a personal choice. This notion that we all have to like be kowtowed to do one thing or the other. I've never understood that about American politics as to why we feel we have to literally tell people what their personal voting choices should be.
But isn't it people like the leftists voting for Kamala, the ones that keep getting us the lesser of two evils as our choices? Isn't it their fault?
How is it their fault? It's that they're the ones get. The system of the American political party system in America is rigged in a way that makes the two-party system literally the normative du jour of protecting bourgeois capitalism. We have a bourgeois left capitalist party, which is the Democrats. We have a bourgeois right capitalist party, which are the Republicans. That's not going to change because a certain number of leftists vote Green Party in Florida in an election and try to tip the scale. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to the fact. What we need to do is to find some way is to structurally change the way in which the political system works in this country, so that we can have third party or fourth party options and remove the party from the two party hegemony. And it has to be done at the top as well as the bottom.
So you were not going to vote for RFK.
No, I was not going to vote for. I'm not. I don't believe in telling people who I want to vote for either.
Ah, well, that's a good policy, I think, because it is
Yeah,
personal,
it's personal. It's a personal point.
and there's no way to prove it.
No,
One thing that I don't entirely understand, or at least there was a time where ADOS type of people made a distinction between Africans and Black people, we'll say, in the New World who experienced slavery. And they felt closer to the experience of those Black people whose ancestry had experienced slavery before. I don't seem to see this sort of distinction with Kamala. Obama got by, but she's not.
well, I mean, I think these. I don't think we should give into the ridiculous idiosyncrasies of these new online phenomena. These hashtag harassers of FBA and ADOS talking about they want to distinguish between the foundation of Black Americans and the Afro Caribbeans who've been here for 75 years as well. I mean, give me a freaking break. I mean, give me. It's so ahistorical and ridiculous. But the bottom line is divisive. It's a way to divide Black people among different directions. And uh, in the end, it is true that Obama got a pass in a way that Kamala Harris didn't. But I think that putting the pressure on Kamala Harris is a consequence of coming after Obama's presidency.
Mm-hmm.
because the degree to which black people, many black people, particularly in online spaces, and we got to remember, Obama was pretty much the first social media president.
True.
You know, we didn't have to worry about hearing people's opinion on Twitter, make statements about what they thought about a president. So that kind of gave an echo chamber to a lot of stupid opinions that we didn't normally have to care about.
You make a good point. We have another super chat.
Voting is but one aspect of the civic duty we leftists have. Are you organizing your workplace? Are you joining various pressure groups? That's a very good point. Dizzle McFizzle. Dizzle McFizzle with the interesting commentary once again. Good
Mm-hmm.
one.
Uh, there was a time when Chuck D said, voting is the least you can do.
That's absolutely correct.
All right, so we have another question. How effective are Trump's racially... Oh, did we just do that? How
No, we
effective
didn't.
are his racially charged attacks against Kamala Harris in shaping public perception, particularly among black voters? Did you get that?
Oh, I don't think. I think it's I think it's only affecting a segment of black voters who are being swayed by that discourse coming out of that FBA 8 set. Like in
Mhm.
places in Chicago, I think in places though you have a diverse tendency of black identities, like in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, you wouldn't those people wouldn't be swayed by that kind of discourse because they're used to seeing black people who come from different origins in their in their localities.
Mhm.
Black people from in places like LA, Detroit, Chicago, maybe even the South, they're going to be more open to that type of discourse because they're more alien to ideas of seeing black differentiation in terms of identity.
A friend of mine contacted me the other day, and
Oh, dropping down.
dropping dime, and he told me that on all these hip hop shows, they're totally right wing.
What
So,
what hip hop shows are you talking about?
like, No Jumper, stuff like this.
You mean the online ones?
Yes, the online ones. DJ Academics.
Academics is a right winger?
Academics is a Trumper.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, these guys might be cashing checks. We don't know about that.
You know what? You make a good point. Fatback and biscuits gotta follow the crumbs, right?
But no, don't get it twisted. The Republicans have their own version of fatback and biscuits. So these might have some bacon in there.
Look at that. Well, I think that's another place that black people are getting their anti-Kamala stances from. Some of these shows. I mean, it makes sense. You have a lot of it's the young black voters that seem to be swayed by Trump.
Yes. Well, there's this notion that there was more money circulating in the black community when Trump was in the White House.
Mm,
So a lot of these guys who are into black capitalism are like, yo, I was getting my paper when Trump was in the White House.
I was getting my people. That's why he says DJ Academics is Jamaican.
Is he really? He is. He is academics.
Get out of here.
He is Jamaican American.
Eddie Williams confirms online rap space. All of them are right wing, permeated by the right wing, and especially manosphere ideas. That is another very good point.
That's very right wing.
Very good point. Very capitalistic.
Well, the manosphere types play on certain concepts of traditional masculinity that
Mm-hmm.
that are hinging on the notion that they've been robbed of those their ability to function as men by feminism and the rise of women in the workplace, and that they they want to be the traditional man, breadwinner, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. You make a good point. Jason says, I don't think they're right wing so much as they think they're being radical.
For being a conservative,
I don't see it as being conservative. I think they make a distinction between Trump and Republicanism. I think Trump is particularly attractive to them. I mean, he's got the gold sneakers, very important. Um, I think I think there's a lot of contrarianism as well as capitalistic ideas. I mean, Trump has solid gold everything, right? So that's where the
It's,
money is.
it's
You want to be
all
like that guy. His
cap,
wife is practically solid
cap,
gold.
capitalist realism goes a long way in the Trump world.
It does. What